everyone? This is your boy D Soccer coming at you with another episode of the Dual Lane, episode 8. Whatever. I lose track of this. I do bad intros anyway. With special guest JPie. For people who don't know him, like I'm bad at intros, so I'm just gonna toss the ball over to him so he can explain himself, who he is, what he does.
Hi, I'm JPie. I stream Paragon related content. Recently, it's been oriented towards Predecessor and Fault. And yeah, I mean, that's a good summary, I feel. How are you doing, Desakra? How's everything with you today?
Oh, great, great. Especially with this amazing ass news that we're gonna talk about right now from Pred.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yeah.
super. Nah, I can't even see. I'm messing up already. I'm messing up his name already.
Hey,
Steve Superville is joins Omega Studios as an advisor. So if people who don't know who he is, he's pretty known to us who are the OG Paragon people, because a lot of people will say he's like the father of Paragon, which I gotta agree with them. You know what I mean? He's the guy that was like, "Yo, I want this MOBA." He went to Epic and he's like, "Yo, I got these thoughts for a MOBA. What we could do?" And Epic was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. It's your creation." So he went. He's the guy behind the Paragon. Basically, he's just like, I created Paragon. He also worked on a ton of other stuff in Epic. You know, Gears of War, and let's see, Gears of War. He worked in Gears of War, Infinite Blade, and Counter Strike. So just a few small games to name. You know, unknown games. But yeah,
and just
no,
that,
I'm sorry.
I just want to add on to that. He's as the creative director, he helped lead the charge on a lot of things. One of those things was making Paragon multi-platform, which is, I feel, one of like I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I discovered this game in the PlayStation Store. Like if I didn't find it on console, I would have never even known that it had existed. So he's a very knowledgeable and proficient individual in video game development and even just software development overall. So it's amazing. The fact that the a lot of the obstacles that Paragon faced, you would be far hard pressed to find someone more knowledgeable on all those obstacles and challenges that Omida is going to encounter soon. As they continue to build up Predecessor.
Nah, yeah, no, crazy. You know what I mean? Now this is where I come to speculate now, just because with just huge news from from Pride, it's just like, yo, imagine when, like, this is what I also messaged somebody from Pride. I was asking big questions. They haven't responded yet. So one of the questions was, if Steed, who saw interest first? Was it was it somebody from the team was reached out to him and was like, "Hey, look, we're trying to make a Paragon remake or a Paragon, or some type of Paragon game. Would you like to give us some advice?" Did did that? You know what I mean? I'm speculating. Like, did that caught his eye? And he was like, "Yeah, let me see what you have." You know what I mean? Or did he, like, you know what I mean? Because
I wish I could know the story behind that because whoever thought it up, I agree to soccer. It was a brilliant move, seriously. And I don't, there in the past how Steve split with Epic Games and Paragon. It's not 100% clear that Epic Games never released an official statement. It was just kind of it happened, and then they just moved on without letting us know. There's always been a lot of speculation and some pretty thorough Reddit posts. I'll just try to summarize to my knowledge how it happened. Because I don't know if you recall during that time to soccer, there were some kind of core gameplay mechanics that they were really trying to figure out. For example, you had for those of you who may not know, in Paragon, you used to have a travel mode that you would activate. And if you got hit while you were in travel mode, you would get rooted. And so I personally really enjoyed it. Apparently, there was a lot of complaints, and it was just a huge struggle to like really make movement feel good, rotation times feel good, and everything else feel like it had the right level of speed on such a huge map. And so that's just one of the numerous challenges that Steve was in charge of fixing. And it's just, I think Epic Games had a lot of pressure from Tencent as well as their own business executives. You know, they wanted to make money, and that causes a lot of pressure for anybody developing or creating a video game. And so sometimes the situation, the relationship sours. And I don't know. Once what I perceived was that once Steve was canned or pushed aside, or he left, whatever, because we don't know 100%. I saw the project kind of taking a decline, because at that point it was like loot boxes. Check it out. You can buy these keys, and then you can get the cards that you need to play the actual game. And yeah, please
No,
go on.
sorry. If you don't remember, like you said, he was there from the beginning. This is his idea of Paragon. This is his vision. He was like, I wanted to like you said, there was numerous, tons of problems that he had to face. Travel mode. A lot of people in the community didn't really like the travel mode because they're like, oh wait, so I gotta do this or wait until I'm like I'm able to run and stuff. A lot of people didn't grab that concept well, and I guess in a way they were like, okay, how can we implement this better for the community or better to understand? It was something new to the mobile genre because like in League of Legends or in Dota, what we usually do is just buy boosts or something to go faster. You know what I mean? There was no
Mhm.
travel, to talk about. And then, if I'm not mistaken, when Steve was brought it over to PlayStation, and a lot of people got on board when it kind of PlayStation. It was a lot of these console players was like, oh, what is this? Oh, this game looks amazing. It looks amazing, but they didn't really grab the concept of how to play. They were like, what's a MOBA? Because if you tell a console person, like back then, what's a MOBA? Nobody would, like, not even me back then. I would be like, no, I got no idea what's a MOBA. And then and then people were like, "Oh yeah, I got some type of idea of a MOBA. It's like that League of Legends thing." But unfortunately, on console there was no League of Legends. There's no Dota. The only thing we had was Smite, but that player base was, I don't know, like
Very friendly.
like what I mean. Like I was never into Smite like that until I met Paragon. I was just like what caught my attention was his visual looks. At that, what was it? Back in 2016 on the PlayStation, it looked amazing. I was just like, bro, my mind was blown how everything was looking, how the jungle was, and then like you said, when Steve stepped back, the team was like, okay, we don't have the leadership of Steve. You know what I mean? Let's hit like the redo button. They came out with the monolith map, and they came out with the new card system, gems and everything. That was it Steve at all. Steve was like,
Mhm.
if anything, he was just like more in back of the scenes, just like, okay, you know what I'm at? I'm just gonna, if you ask me for something, I will tell you, and then if you don't want help, then that's you.
Yeah, now I when he was still on board, I'm going to ask you about your feelings about the card system in just a second. But with, I think the height of the card system was prior to, I think it was version 42. You remember where they would just remove, like they redid the card system, and then it was just you had your Unbroken Spirit, Growth Totem, and then all the other cards. Like that's when those cards came out. But I do think that the previous card system was far better, although it still needed some kind of tweaking. I Because if you break it down, you can think of version 42's card system as just your character can have 3 items. You could think of a card as an item, and that's pretty much. You did also have like the agility, intelligence, strength, like green, purple, orange, points that you could allocate. But still, ultimately, it's like three items, and I just thought it was a more crude, unrefined version of the original card system. I had my issues with the original card system as well, but I still think that they could have continued to refine it, and it would have been much better. But what are your thoughts on the card systems of Paragon to soccer?
Yeah, so back then, I was when they were still on Legacy. There was crazy builds that you could make and stuff like Tanky Twin Blast or Tanky Murdoch and stuff, which was like, don't get me wrong, it had a ton of flaws, but I didn't. Once they changed over to Monolith and they were like, hey, we're gonna this is the new card system. I kind of took a break after that. I was just like, no, this is like I played and I was like just limited to three, and then I had these gems and I was just like, nah,
Mm.
so it ain't clicking. It just I can't connect to this. I was just like I was way thrown off. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I turned it. You know what I mean? I was just like, I gotta take a break. I took a break and I was just like, nah, I can't do this.
I don't blame you in the slightest because I'll tell you what, one thing that never happened with the original card system that happened with the version 42 card system was this. Eventually came a meta where at the higher level of play, every single role ran the same three cards: Growth Totem, Unbroken Spirit, and Unstable Cyborg. And I don't know if you've ever been in a game where it's like someone on your team doesn't know that that's the strongest, and everyone on the other team, so even the supports, they are running it too, and you just get steamrolled because it's just so broken. It's like the worst. It was the worst. That had to be the saddest state of Paragon, the saddest version ever. But and with the original card system, you still had really broken stuff, but it was never on that level. Like, do you, Desakura, do you remember Steel when he would run that blue card that just knocked everyone up? So basically, he would just like go into a fight, knock everybody up, and then do his ultimate, and then basically knock them up again or stun them again. You remember that? There was this that was like a broken combo. That was they once that was discovered, they quickly nerfed it because of how strong it was. But it wasn't something like a carry, a mage, a jungler, a support, and a solo lane running unstable cyborg, broken spirit, and growth totem.
Nah, to tell you the truth, after update, what was it 0.42? That's when the new card system came in. I kind of just forget everything about up to that point, just because like it's not like I just like I said, I couldn't connect. And so like when I when I have the fond memories of Paragon, it was back in when it was Legacy. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I remember gosh, the jungle was just amazing, and I mean like and items okay. I remember travel mode. It was an amazing idea, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of people didn't grab the concept. But now you tell me Monolith, it's a smaller map. What was it? 33% smaller, but it was like it was faster though. It's just like okay, I guess. And then like the new cards, and I was like you said, there was like three or four broken cards, and then if you didn't run them, you automatically lost because everybody else would run them, and then it would just steamroll, and that's it. You can't come back, and you just like, oh, okay. Next time for the next game, I'm just gonna pick that same combo because it works.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Uh, so uh, with because I have a question to ask you about something we're going to talk about soon. I don't want to get ahead, but do you have any other thoughts with Steve Superville joining Omida?
Yeah. So this is one of the questions I asked. I asked to the team, but they haven't responded yet. Which I was like, okay, now Steve is now an advisor, but this is news now, right? How long ago before was he there? And you know what I mean? This is public now. This is public knowledge now. But like I said, when was he before? And then up to now, we know he's an advisor, but how much of an impact did he have in the new map they're making? Because remember,
Mm.
they were like, they announced we're making a new map, So like what we played in alpha, which is some, just more of like a testing, like testing their servers and stuff. It wasn't the real thing. So I'm kind of like thinking, I'm speculating. I was like, bro, with this new news, how long ago did they had time? Like they worked with Steve, and then with his knowledge, like, basically the father of fucking Paragon, with that knowledge, how close resemble, like how close is this map to Paragon now? Like, you know what I mean? This is like, there's a lot of things I'm coming into, and I'm like, bro, this news is like so hype that I'm like, bro, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so I have a couple things to say there. Number one is Steve Superbill. Listen, I want to. I'm talking to the predecessor community right now. You guys, we are all slacking. You want to know how long Steve Superbill has been an advisor? In my estimates, a little over a month. That means his LinkedIn was updated, and he had there that he was an advisor for probably a little over a month at this point, and we have not caught on for an entire month. I don't know, man. I don't know. We have to be more vigilant. We got to sniff this out because Omid is very clever. They're very clever with their teasers, and they will not hesitate to leave a juicy teaser somewhere just in the hopes that somebody's going to discover it. So we should be ever vigilant because we can definitely uncover something quite cool, and I think that Omida would be happy that we did.